Hey guys, welcome to Unlimited Health. Let's check out this video called Forspoken Review by IGN. Okay, I've been wanting to I want to take a look at this game, what they're saying. So far it's like I don't think there's any person out there that is excited to play this. I don't know, man. It just doesn't look right. Something is off about it. It looks like it's a fantasy. It looks like a ripoff of Final Fantasy. Okay, it looks like magical stuff, weird swirly magic, throwing crystals, whatever the fuck it is. It just looks weird. It looks weird, and also like it's a very Final Fantasy type of setting. And don't mind me saying this, but I think the main lead being black, I think this kind of stuff, the fantasy kind of stuff, the whole setting doesn't suit black people, and I'm from, I'm not even an American. I'm seeing it from a third person perspective. I'm seeing it like that, and I'm telling you that it doesn't fit. Black people are more like, they're all about rapping. They're all about human to human conversations. They're not about deep, extremely crazy stuff and extremely deep stuff that, that takes time to understand. It's not like they're straightforward and, boom and shit like that. They're not like, super fantastical, amazing. They're more like entertaining. They love entertaining people. They laugh. They have fun. That kind of stuff. It's not like that. You could say. I mean, white people are more into that kind of thing. So I call me racist is all you want, but just the black lead feels out of place for this setting. That's what I think. But I think black people should get together and make their own style of game instead of all this woke stuff about shoving just for the sake of representation. It just feels off, and nobody wants to say it. Nobody wants to say that. It looks really off-putting. It looks like she doesn't belong in this game at all. And it's weird. Okay, let's just take a look at this review. Okay, 3, 2, 1, let's go. What is IGN saying? And did you take a look at the system requirements for this game? It's insane. Apparently you need a RTX 4090 recommended graphics card to play this, and the minimum requirements is like RTX 3070. And the memory you need is somewhere between 16 to 24 GB memory to even play this. And the hard disk space, it doesn't even accept hard disk. I don't think I think it needs SSD space. And this is coming directly from the developers showing us these system requirements. So holy shit. Let's get to the review. 3, 2, 1, let's go. What is going on?
Curiouser and curiouser, cried Alice.
Is this 1080p or not? God damn it. Okay.
Wish I could find that rabbit hole and tumble away to Wonderland.
Okay, stop me if you've heard this one before. A down-on-their-luck orphan has their life turned upside down when they get whisked away to a fantastical new world. There they suddenly have magical powers and must reluctantly rise to become the hero its people need to stop an evil threat.
Okay.
If that sounds like every fantasy book you've ever forgotten you read, it's probably because Forspoken is a remarkably generic RPG. From its bland story to its lifeless open world.
Lifeless?
Its flashy parkour and energetic combat do keep the relatively slim campaign decently entertaining.
It's fluid.
Throughout.
The combat is fluid,
But
which is great.
running through its boilerplate checklist of side tasks doesn't hold much appeal beyond mindless trophy hunting after that.
Shit.
The newest action action RPG from Square Enix puts you in the brooding shoes of Frey Holland, a well-acted but largely unlikable New Yorker. Frey is pulled through a portal to the fantasy realm of
if you say unlikable, they're gonna come with the pitchforks. They're gonna hunt you down. So be careful.
and accidentally becomes bonded to an equally unlikable talking armband she calls Cuff.
Cuff.
It's a bit reductive, isn't it? Cuff.
The 4 remaining realms of Athia have been afflicted with a corruption that has forced its populace into the last remaining city of Sepal, and it falls on Frey and her newly imbued powers to help its citizens by facing 4 powerful rulers called Tantas. Not that she's all that interested in doing so.
If you want to save your city, do it your f***ing self.
Forspoken's world and story are about as bland as they come, equal parts predictable and forgettable, and mostly told through exposition dumps between large stretches of open-world exploration. Across the 15 hours it took me to beat the campaign, the writing never does a good job of establishing any of its characters or the relationships between them, constantly assuming we must already be invested in these people in a way it never actually earns.
We must execute her immediately.
Wait, what? No,
Whoa, what's going on?
I don't even know how I got here. Please, listen to me.
The most egregious example of this
It's
is the
weird.
chemistry between Frey and Cuff, which frames
Something
most
about
of
the
Forspoken
main
as a sort
lead.
of buddy cop movie, but spends almost no time showing these 2 unlikely partners genuinely growing closer together. That means their snippy banter comes off as obnoxious rather than endearing.
Can we just not talk?
Fine. Fine by me. Suit yourself. I'd love a bit of
Shit.
science.
Fantastic.
It
Frey
looks
is
really
surprisingly
good.
vocal about her disdain for most of the tasks you're asked to complete.
Not super into the idea of going in here.
And Cuff
what?
constantly belittles her for no good reason.
Reasonably impressive, I suppose.
So she's not interested in doing anything?
Reasonably. Kiss my ass.
I think it's
kiss my
supposed to
ass.
come off as sort of friendly ribbing, but instead it feels like awkwardly watching a couple argue at a dinner party. This dynamic never really changes, and it is
Dinner
always
party.
exhausting.
You absolutely sound like that.
No, you
Okay.
absolutely sound like that. Yeah, see?
What?
You can play that game.
What's going on?
Some conversations and
What?
cutscenes can also have a stilted feel to them. The performances throughout genuinely aren't bad, even when the writing leans heavily into telling rather than showing, but none of it is very fun to listen to thanks to long, awkward pauses between lines and occasional
Really?
crowd noise or background
What?
music that's so loud
That
it
reminds me
drowns
of
out the
Anthem.
dialogue.
Did you see that game?
Deeply connected.
It's weird.
When you're not
Okay.
in Sepal talking to townsfolk and doing mundane side
Look at the
quests
cat!
like chasing cats,
Oh,
you're
just for the
generally given a
cat, I
target
wanna
on your
buy
map
it.
and free reign to
It
get
looks
as
good.
distracted as you'd like along the way.
It looks
That involves
fluffy.
sprinting across Athia's rocky terrain using Frey's magic parkour
Magic
skills,
parkour
flipping over
skills.
obstacles and then beating the snot out
looks
of enemies
good.
at various points of interest.
It
for
looks
new
really
equipment
good.
and other rewards.
That went well.
One thing I want to say is that it's not believable. I guess it's because of the black lead, because I don't see black people this way. Like, they don't fit into super high fantasy type of settings. I don't know. I don't know, man. It just it doesn't feel right. Something is off. And also, did you see the the dialogues, the delivery of dialogues? It's awkward and weird. I don't know. Dang.
This is what you'll be doing for the vast majority of your time with Forspoken, and it can be a lot of fun, even if those systems never get too deep. Frey gains 4 styles of elemental magic over the course of the campaign.
How did
each
they
essentially
even
a
play?
different weapon.
Are you telling me these people have like RDX 4090 or something? Because that's what the recommended specs say. So in order to play this game, you need a 4090. Who the fuck even has that?
You can
Like, are
quickly
you
swap
kidding me?
between with its own set of alternate fire
How did
modes
they
and
even play
unlockable
this
support
game?
skills.
Whoa,
For starting,
shit.
magic is basically an
Recreant
earth-based
mind.
gun that can be fired rapidly or
Duk, 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 duk,
charged
duk.
for an area of effect burst.
Nice, I like it.
You're mine.
You are
With
mine.
abilities that root enemies to the ground, up your defense temporarily, and more. And as you play, you can
Everything
modestly
looks
upgrade all
good.
of those skills.
It's
a
just the
little annoyingly
believability
restrictive
and the
until you do
world,
unlock
the
more
setting,
options, though.
and the
For example, you
characters.
don't even have a melee attack until you unlock the fire-based sword about a third of the way through the campaign.
racial thing is kind of weird. I don't know.
But once you do open up more
Also, there's nothing wrong with any color of person of color being the center or the lead of any type of game. There's nothing wrong with that, okay? You know, my only concern is that I see two different races, you know, in America, like white people, black people, and also like maybe, you know, also like Mexicans and whatnot, you know. They're all, I see them all separately, you know, and they're all in unity, right, in America, which is all amazing. But they have their own type of behavior patterns, cultures, you know, their own type of you know, interacting with things. And for me, this black person, this lead, is not fitting into the hyper fantasy world. This kind of fantasy stuff belongs to white people. Honestly, I don't think even Asians fit into this. You know, this kind of creation comes out of European culture. You know, European white, like Italians, French. You know, it's something to do with those cultures. This setting comes out of there. You know, it's not you know, in connection with black culture, you know, so it's kind of weird to me. It's weird. Nobody will mention this because they don't want to get hate, but I can't help but notice this weirdness on screen, this out of place stuff with the black lead. That's why I want to say it, you know. That's why I want to say it.
Phrase capabilities, Forspoken's particle effect-filled combat becomes quite amusing. Enemy variety isn't exactly impressive.
It looks
and it
good.
has a bad habit of
plays
recycling
good.
initially cool mini
It's
bosses
probably
until they're a
amazing
lot
to
less fun
play
fight.
because
But
it's
elemental
an RPG
resistances
game.
and unique quirks pushed me to frequently swap weapons and strategies in a way I really enjoy.
It's not believable. It's not believable for me, at least.
For example, I loved that the shielded enemies could be dealt with either by getting behind
Or maybe I'm thinking too much. Maybe because I'm not American, I haven't lived between multiple cultures surrounding me, walking around on the streets or anything like that. In India, it's all Indians. Very, very tiny minority of, you know, Asians. And they come from Himalayas and whatnot. That's next to the borders and whatnot. So very tiny minority. Like you see 3 people among 1,000 people. You know. So I'm not in a multiculturalist society, whereas you guys are. So you know better than me. But for me, when I'm seeing it from what I know about America and how the cultures from when I see from afar, it's kind of weird for this game. In this game, it doesn't feel like, you know, believable. It's not believable for me, you know.
them, or by charging an AoE shot and then firing it at the ground nearby to knock them off their guard. One-on-one fights can devolve into locking onto your target and mashing the right trigger while you strafe out of harm's way with Forspoken's extremely generous dodge system. But the more common group encounters often did a good job of keeping me on my toes.
This sounds like an honest review. It's not biased or anything. This is really cool. I like it.
The parkour system is a similar mix of straightforward and flashy, sending you nimbly soaring across the
Extremely
environment by simply holding down the circle
fantastical,
button and pointing yourself in a
flashy,
given direction.
straightforward.
Just like your attacks, this becomes
it
more
doesn't
fun
feel
once you unlock
right.
some cooler skills, like options that boost your speed with well-timed button presses. That said, it's also far more mindless than combat, requiring very little nuance even as additional techniques become available to you. Even still, it can be quite a satisfying way to fancifully flow from task to task without much thought. That's a good thing too, because there is a considerable amount of ground to cover in Athia, and very little of it is worth stopping to admire.
This place isn't much to look at, huh?
She even
This
says
world
it?
is
Are you
huge,
kidding me?
And the campaign doesn't even send you near half of it. The map is littered with optional side objective markers, but there isn't much reason to go too far off the
just
beaten
too
path to
big.
complete them when the same small
bunch of
handful
green- if you like
tasks
walking
available
on
are
green
repeated
grass-
ad nauseum, no matter.
If you like walking on like green, beautiful, lush grass, which I love, I would happily play this, but it probably costs shitload of money, this game, and you can't even find it anywhere. It's only on PS5 and it's not even on. I don't know if it's on PC. And do you even care? Like, did you see the system requirements? You can't play this game on a PC at all. I guarantee this dude is playing. Look, L1, R1. This dude is playing on PS5 because that's where it's playable. Not on a PC. This dude can't afford it.
No matter where they're placed.
Not even IGN can afford to play
this. To either fighting some random
PC.
dudes to earn a reward or just being handed one outright. And the payoffs don't feel particularly necessary on the normal difficulty setting.
Good night.
Huh.
Plenty of open world games follow a similar structure, but Forspoken does it with such a bare bones transparency that Athia comes off less like a world for you to explore and more like a repetitive checklist asking to be crossed off. It also doesn't help that Athia lacks much in the way of interesting visual landmarks, mostly filled with piles of samey rocks and ruins. Each of the 4 regions offers some twist to their layout.
I have to admit, this game looks really good, and it actually makes me want to play it because it looks so good. I want to traverse this beautiful, lush green world, but they're saying it's empty, and also the amount of fantastical power attacks jumping around, locking on. It's like, it's weird, man. The combat is, I don't know, for some reason I'm not, liking it.
But they'd still mostly blend together if it weren't for the blunt color filter slapped onto each one. After the credits rolled, I ran around this map for another dozen or so hours, hoping to find some exciting secrets in the hard-to-reach corners I hadn't visited yet.
Right.
But with the sole exception of an isolated trader selling a few neat items, all I saw was the same side tasks on these same bland landscapes over and over and over
Man,
again.
what did they even make
I'm
here?
sure there will be diehard
No
completionists
content
out
at
there
all?
excited for a chance to put on a podcast
I want
and
this to
spend
be good,
dozens of hours clearing every single map marker and opening every single chest.
Hey, you know what? I would love to play a game based on black culture and, cool shit. I would love to play that. But I don't know. I don't know. I don't know.
But I was given very little motivation to do so here.
It looks good. It looks good, but I don't know what to say.
Forspoken
Okay.
is a kind of game you've probably seen before. From its stereotypical fish-out-of-water fantasy story to its giant open-world map full of repetitive optional tasks. Its combat is flashy and fun enough to entertain across its comparatively short RPG campaign, with fights that do a decent job of pushing you to shake up your use of Frey's elemental powers even when the overall enemy variety isn't particularly impressive. Its parkour system is also satisfying enough despite the scenery you're running through being about as picturesque as a bowl of rocks with an Instagram filter slapped on it. There's a kind of person that
Man,
might be
this
enough
dude is
for.
ripping
Happy
this
to spend
game off.
hours and hours uncovering
like
every
ripping
inch
it
of
off.
Forspoken's needlessly
He hates this
large
game.
map. But that doesn't mean I was
6,
able to find
okay.
a compelling reason you'd want
Okay.
to.
Yeah.
For more, check out our reviews of One Piece Odyssey or Crisis
guess
Core
it's,
Final Fantasy VII Reunion. And for everything
how do you
else,
put it?
keep it right here on IGN.
Cool.
How about some rubs right here?
Looks like it's a missed opportunity more than, a bad game or anything like that. I think this game it has potential. It has so much potential. I guess they didn't go all in with it because you can make some really terrible looking games or terrible games with terrible stories or games with terrible, mechanics. Feel good to play, you can still do a lot, but they didn't go all in. The whole map seems empty and same kind of missions thrown everywhere, but I don't mind a large map because it's all green, lush environments running around. I would, I live in the city, man. I could only wish for some beautiful, landscapes and, lush green grass that I can walk through. That would be my heaven, you show me that kind of place and give me a small cabin to live in there in a place like that. I would instantly go there, because it's so good. And that's what's exciting for me about this game, because oh my god, there's so much beautiful shit here. I want to go in there and play it. that's the sinker, the hook for me. So yeah, Forspoken, what did you think about it? Did you like my reaction? You know, I'm not, you know, I'm not, if I sound kind of like a racist, I'm sorry. I am out from outside. I'm a foreigner. I'm not an American. So I guess I sounded like that. I don't know what to say, you know. But yeah, that's my opinion on it. It feels out of place. It doesn't feel right. It feels like it's pretending to be something cool when it's not. I don't know what to say. Any other game, you know, do a all black Saints Row game. You know, do that. That would be amazing. One of my favorite games is GTA San Andreas, all black cast. I just love that game. It's one of my probably one of my top 3 favorites. I love that game, GTA San Andreas, the best GTA ever. So I love it. Okay, but Forspoken it's trying hard and it's not getting anywhere. It's like what, and it just doesn't feel good. It just doesn't look right, okay? So, yeah, that's it for this reaction. Please subscribe to my main channel. That's where I got a copyright strike for merely reacting to something. And it's 3 months ban, and it's just annoying, okay? It's been 1 week since I got it. I got out of depression from it. And this is my backup channel. This is where I'm making videos, okay? So, yeah, if you like my reaction, if you want to see more, subscribe to both my channels. All right, so yeah, that's it for this reaction. I'll see you guys later. Goodbye.